All right. Up where we. What's up, Hawk exploits? Oh, resume save. First. Yeah, I figure we'll play some Kerbal, and then whenever the GPS 3 launch starts, we'll switch to watching that. So, what should we start by building? Oh, we can't hear. One sec. Oh, you can hear. Okay. There we go. So, give you an example of what I'm kind of planning here is once the launch starts, I think I can shrink this window down. See if that works on your end. Is that not working on your end? Oh, there we go. Yeah. So it'll shrink the window down, and then we can watch the actual rocket launch. Okay, so what should we build in the meantime? Because we're gonna play some Kerbal and build some stuff. Maybe we will just build a satellite or something. Oh, and I meant to start up the music here. All right. Can you guys hear me good over the music? Is the music too loud or is it too quiet? IQ 0. Florida. Texas. Oh, Seattle. All right, so we're gonna build a. That'll. Gee. band. There you go. Thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't already, please like the stream. Maybe we can get a few more people in here watching. And have to keep kind of listening in to see if that stream starts, but and I sure hope the audio transfers over so that you guys can hear it. Yeah. Yeah, is this for a 5M server? I assume it is. So Code Monkey's in charge of the Discord development. He's got somebody working with us right now on the Discord, but you'll have to ask him if you want Discord developer. All right, anyway. I wonder if we can, if we have time to do a Falcon 9-like landing. Do I need anything done? I don't think I need anything done in particular. Like I said, the Discord is that's all Code Monkey is, making sure on that. See if maybe we can land this guy. Yeah, I understand on Discord. I don't, like I said, I am not operating Discord. I'm on it, but that you got to talk to Code Monkey. He's in charge of that. I don't know anything about Discord. I barely know how to use it. How long do we got? 30 minutes till the actual rocket launch. Please remember to like the stream. Helps out a lot, guys. You get more people in here watching. Let's launch this sucker. Wonder where Alessandro is. He never misses a Kerbal stream. Must be asleep or something. Maybe he's at work. What's up, Connor Diaz? Guys, telling them we're going to watch this for a little bit, play some Kerbal, and then here in just a while we're going to switch to the live stream of the actual rocket launch. Go ahead. What's your quick question? Yeah, by the way, this is B-Bob, my last name. Okay, that's how it's pronounced. It's okay. Yeah, gotcha. Gonna land this Falcon 9 hopefully. Yeah, there is a real life rocket launch happening. We're gonna watch that next. Like it starts here in just a short time. 27 minutes till the liftoff. So we're gonna switch to that stream here shortly. Yeah, maybe you don't. I don't know. It's a lot of fun though. You have to be into rocketry to begin with. Otherwise, yeah, no, it's probably going to be boring for you. Real life, I'm a security guard. Landed that. Yeah, real life, I'm a security guard at a mental health facility. Yeah, no, I have not got a job that has anything to do with rockets. No.
Took a swing at a wrecking ball and I prayed for my downfall and I found a way to reconcile. 'Cause in my heart it's not worthwhile. It's a bloody battlefield where some go down, others heal. In the end it's all the same. All we can do is play the game. Oh, do we say goodbye?
It's not so bad, man. There we go. We got it. And we recovered another second stage. 24 minutes till the real launch. Any requests? What should we build now? We already did our sat. I really wish Alessandro had made it to the stream, man. He never misses one. I'm kind of surprised. But I guess just because I know Alessandro would ask, we'll add on to his space station. But it's GPS 3, so it's today's launch is for the Space Force. Yeah, it's a new GPS satellite going up. It's a really cool one though. It's going on a Block 5 Falcon 9, and they're going to be landing on a drone ship in the middle of the ocean called Just Read the Instructions, I believe. I think, of course, I Still Love You is in port right now, so I think the drone ship it's landing on is Just Read the Instructions. Yeah, the landings are really awesome to watch, man. So I think what the space station needs right now is yeah, maybe an adapter like this. Better adapter. I think. The real rocket's doing both. It'll launch, and then the first stage that boosts it up, the satellite into space, will come back and land on a drone ship. It's just a really neat process. You'll see. You stick around through the stream, you'll see. Really cool. Try to watch on my phone while I'm heading to the place I'm going. Okay? And alright, so this is what we'll add to the space station. Know what I want for solar panels here? I think I'll just do something smaller. We don't need big ones for this. Wish that we need to drop this a little. It's just not. Change how this is going. 18 minutes. The launch is going to start real soon. The actual webcast here. But we're probably not going to get a chance to even finish this particular rocket. Mordo, you hopping on RP tonight? Yeah, probably. Oh, they just moved the launch time then. Hold on, let me see. Maybe it's just lagging. Let's see. Yeah, they just changed the launch time. It's lagging behind. Or no, not lagging behind. I mean, they just changed the launch time. It was 12 something, now it's 1:10. That happens. They have a window that they can launch it within. So sometimes that happens. Not the biggest deal in the world. Just means we get to play this a little bit longer. They could even cancel it, you know? Who knows? Scrub the launch. They think something's wrong. It's not a big deal. 31 minutes. It's not that long. Sometimes they'll just, you know, sometimes you'll be sitting there waiting for hours and hours, and then they'll cancel it last second. We're not even waiting that long. Yep, we're getting there. It's like I said, it just fell back a little bit. It's already on. Yeah, it's already on the launch pad. But they usually put it vertical well ahead of the launch. I do like watching rocket launches. I never miss one. I watch all of them. This will be my first time streaming one, but I guess since we got so long, I can make the window bigger for the Kerbal, because do that. That way we got a bigger window, but we can still see the countdown. All right, see you, Connor. Ooh-wee. What are you up to today, Jackson? Anything fun? Jackson, you there? Doing anything fun? Sitting at home making a server while it storms outside. Oh, you got a good storm going? Damn cars. No, no what? Yeah. Yeah, what? I can't believe how many people keep joining and leaving this stream. It's a decent storm. You guys get tornadoes where you're at all? It's that time of year, isn't it? I live in Georgia, like I said, so it rains a lot. Oh, okay. Oh, shit. I went way too far. Yeah, we'll do that. And then when we get close to the intersect, we'll burn like hell and hope we make it. Really? We don't have anything connected. Oh, that sucks so much. Why don't we have extra ground stations turned on? Try that again. This time not suck. Columbus, Georgia, which is on the border of Alabama. Just dissipate. Oh, okay. Yeah, I lived in Oklahoma for a long time, and I lived right in Oklahoma City. I was there for 2 different F5 tornadoes, and that was pretty wild, man. But yeah, let's see if we can get this up to the space station added for Alessandro. I really wish he was in the stream right now. It's kind of crazy. We got about 23 and a half minutes or so till the launch. What's up, Trey 6? Yeah, Oklahoma can get wild, man. Hey, what's up, everybody joining in? Nice to see you. We're right now we're just playing a little bit of Kerbal. Grandma lives in Florida, so she gets hurricanes. Yeah, so I lived in Biloxi, Mississippi for a little bit. I was in one hurricane. It wasn't a very bad one though. But interestingly enough, I got in that hurricane. I can't remember what it's called now, but it was a long time ago. It was in like the 90s. All right, Jackson. The interesting about the hurricane that I was in, I'm over in Arizona. Oh, awesome. It flooded the front yard really bad, so I went outside and started swimming in the front yard. Let me tell you what, that was a huge mistake, because the fire ants all come out of their holes when it's flooded out, and they're looking for anything they can to hold on to. And so my brief amount of time swimming in the front yard resulted in me getting a whole bunch of fire ant bites. Just waiting on this launch to start. Usually they started at like, yeah, they did. Usually they start their live webcasts at like between 15 minutes before or 10 minutes before, somewhere in that range. Yes, it is. I live in Washington State, so yeah, Pacific time. Yeah. Yes, correct. 12:48 p.m. 'Damn it, come on.
Do we say goodbye? Refuse to question why. I'm too sad to say I'm sorry. So lie and pretend that you're
Close enough. How are we on electric? Should deploy.
keep trying for one day. I'm sick of all these lies.
Maybe, I don't know. It's Pacific time, yeah.
There's nothing left for me to hide. Don't wanna live a lie. Too many lows, too many highs. Too many things to criticize. So I leave it all behind. Don't wanna live a lie.
Okay. I guess not.
Sick of all these lies. Don't care if I capsize.
I think Mountain Time is 1 hour ahead. Mountain Time's 1 hour ahead of us. Then Central is 2. Eastern is 3.
Cause I don't know nobody change me now. Cause I like to be myself. If you're not agree, you can walk away. You can walk away. You can walk away.
We might actually get this thing docked before the launch starts. And I will turn off the music before, when the launch starts. That's way too strong. I gotta turn those. It's that way. It's that way. Turn this way. There we go. Seven to what? I think we're gonna come around and launch on the dock on the back side over here. So, like that. That is the target. Start heading towards. We're doing good here. The click. Go. Space station slowly but surely getting bigger. Ugh. Hopefully they start this launch soon, because really hope they don't delay it or cancel it. How do I take the solar panels off? Can we just fly this thing up and attach this? Oh! It's like the... Go. So like I said, this is one they're going to try and land. They're going to land the booster on a drone ship, an autonomous drone ship in the ocean called Just Read the Instructions. They have another one called Of Course I Still Love You, but I believe that one's in port right now. The fairing halves are going to separate, and they're going to try and fish those out of the water. They're not going to try and catch them today, I believe. I'm not even sure if they're attempting to catch them anymore. I kind of think they've stopped trying to catch the fairings. Can you guys hear the launch okay? Looks like you can.
Good morning. It's Tuesday, June 30th, and on your screen is a live view of the Falcon 9 awaiting its 4:10 Eastern Standard Time launch from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station in Florida. My name is Shiva Bharadwaj, and I'm a space operations engineer here at SpaceX headquarters in Hawthorne, California. And welcome to our webcast coverage for the GPS-3 Space Vehicle number 3 launch for the United States Space Force. Now, the Global Positioning System, or GPS payload, is one that you're probably familiar with. GPS satellites provide a diverse range of positioning and timing services for both civil and military purposes. Now, the United States has been launching GPS satellites for the last 42 years, and today marks the 75th launch. This launch is also particularly special because it honors the memory of Colonel Thomas Falzarano, commander of the 21st Space Wing, Peterson Air Force Base in Colorado. The Space Force has dedicated this mission to his memory, and we will hear directly from General Raymond and others who knew and worked with him just before we enter into the first coast phase later on in the broadcast. Now, let's take a closer look at the vehicle that will launch the GPS-3 satellite and help us honor the memory of Colonel Thomas Falzarano. On your screen is a view of Space Launch Complex 40 with the Falcon 9, our two-stage liquid-fueled launch vehicle, and it's getting ready for launch. Falcon 9 stands about 230 feet tall, which is greater than the wingspan of a 747 aircraft. Now, the bottom two-thirds of the vehicle is a brand new first stage, and its job is to accelerate the entire vehicle through the Earth's atmosphere up to the edge of space. Now, unlike our first GPS-3 mission from December in 2018, we will be attempting to recover the first stage on our drone ship named Just Read the Instructions, and it's currently stationed about 350 nautical miles off the east coast of Florida. We worked with our customer following our earlier GPS-3 mission to ensure that we maintained more than enough performance margin for both the primary mission and a chance at recovery today on that first stage. Now, above the first stage is the second stage, and about 2.5 minutes into flight, it will separate from the first stage. Then it'll ignite its single Merlin vacuum engine to carry the GPS-3 satellite into a highly elliptical orbit. The apogee, or the highest point of that orbit, will ultimately end up at about 20,000 kilometers above the Earth's surface, at which point the satellite will then separate and then perform some burns to enter into a circular medium Earth orbit about 20,200 kilometers above the Earth. You'll also notice that the second stage fuel tank is painted gray today, and that's so we absorb a little more heat from the sun while we're not eclipsed by the Earth. That helps the fuel tank stay at the proper temperature for today's mission when we go into the Earth's shadow. Now, at the very top of the rocket is the payload fairing. The GPS-3 satellite is currently enclosed inside of it, and it's 17 feet in diameter. It protects the satellite from aerodynamic heating, loads, and contamination during the ascent portion of the mission, but once we reach the vacuum of space, we'll jettison those fairing halves back to Earth while the second stage continues to take the satellite to orbit. The fairing halves that we're using today are brand new, and we will be attempting to recover them using our recovery ships, Miss Tree and Miss Chief. However, we aren't planning a catch attempt today, and instead we'll scoop these out of the water later on this evening.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Now, finally, next to the rocket is that large truss structure that we refer to as the Transporter Erector, or TE. The TE rolls Falcon 9 out to the launch pad, raises it to the vertical launch position, and also routes power, fluids, and communication to both the rocket and satellite.
Good afternoon. I'm John Innsbrucker, Falcon 9 Principal Integration Engineer here at SpaceX. We're coming up on 9.5 minutes to launch, and to get to this point, we rolled Falcon 9 out to the pad Sunday night, about 41 hours before launch, and we went vertical on the pad at roughly 10 a.m. local time yesterday. The chief engineer held his technical poll at T-minus 1 hours, and the launch director held a propellant load and launch go, no-go poll at T-minus 38 minutes. The vehicle is healthy. We are currently working, no issues. Now, if we do have to call a hold on today's launch, we have a backup opportunity tomorrow at 3:51 Eastern Time in the afternoon. That's about 4 minutes earlier than today's opening of the window. Now, right now, we're targeting the end of the window just after 16:10 Eastern Time for liftoff. Now, after the go, no-go polls, Falcon 9 has been loading propellants. It began at T-minus 35 minutes. We began with fuel going into both the first and second stage, oxidizer into the first stage. For fuel, we use a refined form of kerosene known as RP1, Rocket Propellant Grade 1. Our oxidizer is a super chilled liquid oxygen, and we call that LOX. Now, currently, the second stage that you can see outlined with that gray paint that Shiva mentioned, that
That's interesting.
fuel is completely loaded. We're still loading fuel on the first stage. That'll go until T-minus 6 minutes. And as you can see from the plume streaming off of the first and second stage,
I've never
launch
seen
tanks,
them do the gray
we are
thing
continuing
before.
to load liquid oxygen onto both of those stages right now. We're also loading
Yeah, I've never seen them do it before where they put the gray stripe on there. They paint it to absorb more heat.
Falcon 9 uses helium gas as a pressurant in the fuel and the LOX tanks. As the Merlin engine pumps pull RP1 and LOX out of the tanks, we have to fill the empty volume, what we call ullage, with helium that is heated by the engine. Heating the helium helps expand it to fill the tanks. Now at T-minus 7 minutes coming up here, engine chill will begin. We'll hear that call out. This is where we allow a small amount of the super chilled liquid oxygen to flow past the turbopump inlets. That cools them down to avoid thermal shocks when we light the Merlin engines at T-minus 2 seconds. Finally, you can see to the left of the rocket is the transport erector, or what we also call the strongback. That will retract away from the rocket about 2 degrees at T-minus 4 minutes. That gives the necessary clearance for Falcon 9 to begin the liftoff sequence. Now on top of Falcon 9, we have the spacecraft. The spacecraft team has transitioned the GPS satellite to internal battery power. That happened at T-minus 15 minutes. They're working no issues, and there are no further actions required of the satellite before launch. We're launching out of the eastern range, and currently the range is go. They're ready to support. The air and the sea space is clear around us. They've also been launching the balloons for us to help get the weather. The weather from clouds, lightning, electric fields right now is go. What we've been watching is the upper altitude winds. The gradient from one altitude to the other has been borderline where we might exceed the load capability of the Falcon 9. We are currently go. We will get one last weather balloon piece of data coming up here in a couple of minutes. But right now, all systems continue to be go for a liftoff just after 4:10 p.m. Eastern Time.
Now, as we mentioned earlier, today's mission is for the United States Space Force, and we're launching the GPS-3 Space Vehicle number 3 as our payload. Now we'll hear from Lieutenant Colonel Margaret Sullivan, Material Leader of the GPS-3 Space Vehicles, and Tanya Ladwig, Acting Vice President of Navigation Systems at Lockheed Martin, to learn more about today's satellite.
We use GPS every day.
Today, everyone has GPS technology in their pocket.
It's 25 years of space-based position, navigation, and timing, supporting the entire world.
GPS touches the lives of everyday people all the time. It's changed the way we work, it's changed the way we play with over 4 billion users worldwide. We're already preparing for the next generation of GPS satellites with our GPS-3 follow-on contract, and we're inserting greater technology for greater capability.
The brand new United States Space Force owns this premier asset and provides this position, navigation, and timing service to everyone.
And for all personnel on the countdown net, we have an update from GNC informing us we have a good weather balloon. Proceeding on with the countdown. T-minus 4 minutes, 20 seconds and counting.
Today's GPS-3 Space Vehicle 3 mission is dedicated by the Space Force to the memory of Colonel Thomas Falcerano, and we will hear directly.
I don't know if you guys heard that, but just a second ago, they did confirm that the last weather balloon was a go. So it sounds like we're go.
Just inside 4 minutes from liftoff, we did get the good news just a moment ago that the latest weather balloon is go for launch. So we're going to continue to count down. We've begun retracting the transporter erector strongback away from the Falcon 9. You can see it on your screen. Moves back a couple of degrees to get us ready for liftoff. Now the Falcon 9 is now moving into the final stages of the countdown. The vehicle remains in good health. Fuel loading is complete on both the first and second stages. Liquid oxygen loading will wrap up shortly on the first stage and will complete at T-minus 2 minutes on the second stage. At 1 minute before liftoff, you'll hear the announcement that Falcon 9 is in startup. That means the rocket's own internal computers on first and second stage are controlling the launch countdown. The GPS-3 space vehicle continues to be go. The Falcon 9 team is tracking no issues on the rocket. The weather has turned green for us here in the last minutes, and the range continues to be green for launch. Now again, as a reminder, if we don't launch today, we have a backup opportunity at 3:51 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow.
If it comes to that, I'll try and stream again tomorrow, but I think we look
First
good.
stage LOX load complete.
Launch director has just
Alessandro,
called
you
out that
made
the
it!
first stage LOX load is complete. We're now loading just liquid oxygen.
We added
on
2
the
parts
second
to your
stage.
space station, Alessandro.
Approximately half a minute, LOX loading should complete on stage 2.
No, they're just getting ready to take off for T-minus 2 minutes, Carl.
T-minus 2 minutes. That announcement tells us that that chill-in that we began at T-minus 7 minutes has lasted long enough. And we are good for the ignition sequence on the Merlin engines coming up in just over a minute and 40 seconds.
We're going to go ahead and minimize the game here.
Now coming up in the background, you can see some white plumes coming off of the strongback.
Gas close up started.
There's a nice view. We have completed
Yep,
loading
this is
the second
live.
stage. We're now draining the liquid oxygen out of the plumbing that goes up that structure alongside the rocket. And as we vent off the gas, you get that nice long plume you see there where that humid Florida air meets the ultra cold gaseous oxygen, condenses, giving you that nice white fog. That's normal for this point in the count.
Falcon's in startup. AFTS configured for flight.
Launch director is announced. We're inside of a minute. We are in startup on the flight computers. We are also beginning to pressurize stage 1 and stage 2 for launch.
Mission directors, go for launch.
We've heard the final call-outs. Mission director, launch director are go for launch. So at T-minus 30 seconds coming up, all systems are go for launch of Falcon 9 with GPS-3 Space Vehicle number 3.
Looking good.
T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7,
6,
5, 4,
3, 2, 1.
0. Ignition. Liftoff. Go Falcon, go GPS.
Vehicle is pushing down right. Heat chamber pressure down.
Look at her go. It's awesome watching the speed in the back, you know, in the bottom left corner there, just how fast that thing's going.
T-plus 40 seconds, we've heard call-outs. And now we're entering the throttle bucket. We're powering down the Merlin engines.
Yeah, perfect timing,
Relieve
Jackson.
the acceleration as we get ready for the period of maximum dynamic pressure. We're in the throttle bucket. Now we're beginning to power back up. We hear the call out exiting throttle bucket. The 9 Merlin 1D engines
Mach
going
1.
back to full power. And we are now supersonic.
Max Q.
Guidance engineer calls out max Q, the period of maximum dynamic pressure, or Q, on the vehicle. From this point forward, although we go faster and faster, the thinner atmosphere will put less loads on the airframe of the rocket.
Heck yeah.
Coming up next is chill-in of the upper stage engine. We've got a good trajectory.
And back engine chill started.
We've begun the chill-in of the upper stage engine. Power on the Merlin 1D engines looks good. Avionics reports everything is nominal. And we're T plus 2 minutes into flight. 2 minutes into flight. Next major activity. In half a minute, shutdown of the 9 Merlin engines, separate the first and second stage, and ignite the second stage engine to carry GPS and the second stage
almost
into
to main
the
engine
first of
cutoff.
2 orbits today. This one will be the initial
And then
parking
right after
orbit.
that will be fairing deploy, and then we get to start the landing procedure where we land this booster.
Falcon 9 preparing for MECO.
Go.
And MECO.
Stage separation confirmed.
Things looking good so far.
And we've confirmed ignition of the second stage engine after a good stage 1, stage 2 SEP. You could see briefly the Falcon 9 first stage in the background.
Both vehicles are following nominal trajectories.
Call out that both vehicles are following the planned trajectory. First stage continuing to coast to apogee, where it'll then slowly turn around and descend back to the drone ship for landing in the Atlantic Ocean. The second stage engine beginning the
Bearings are getting ready to
get
deploy
it
here.
into the parking orbit.
Acquisition of signal, Maryland.
Coming up, fairing deploy. Waiting to see the camera switch forward.
Fairing separation confirmed.
Ba-boom!
And we've got fairing separation. The 2 halves of the Falcon 9
So there's the
fairing
grid
separating,
fins all
the
opened up.
pneumatic
Those are
system
the
unlatching the locks that hold it together, and then the pneumatic pushers separating the 2 halves. As the fairing falls away from the vehicle, we can see on the left side of the screen.
those are the
grid
wings that are
fins,
gonna
the large titanium
land it.
castings that are mounted to the first stage have deployed. They'll be used later as we come back into the atmosphere for precision guidance of the first stage to land on the drone ship. On the right-hand side, we see the second stage engine continuing to burn. It's at full power. Everything's looking good with the trajectory. So at just past T plus 4 minutes into flight, everything is go on the flight of Falcon 9 with GPS-3 space vehicle number 3.
No, there are no people. That's just, it's a satellite launch, so there's no people on board. Trixie. Or Tray 6, my bad.
We're currently in the first of 2 planned Merlin vacuum.
Yeah, this is a new GPS satellite.
Looking at the data, the second stage engine burn is nominal. On your left-hand screen, you can see the first stage as it's performing that reorientation that John and I talked about. The grid fins are deployed, and you're seeing some
So at the
plumes there from the attitude control system that are getting it ready so that the 9 Merlin 1D engines are pointed towards the atmosphere as it re-enters into Earth's atmosphere. Beautiful views of the planet beneath both the first stage and the second stage. Second stage is continuing into its burn.
Man, look at that.
This burn
It's 12,000 kilometers per hour right now. Thing's hauling.
Burn will actually begin on the first stage in just about a minute from now. During the entry burn, we'll ignite 3 of the Merlin 1D engines on the first stage. That'll give us a chance to slow down the stage as it ends up re-entering the Earth's atmosphere and reduce the aerodynamic loads as it starts to bite into the thicker parts of the air around our planet. You can see the Merlin vacuum engine on your right-hand screen.
13,000.
There growing red hot. That's expected. We're really
14,000.
Now
that speed is for the second stage there. That's still burning. The first stage that has the grid fins open is obviously going quite a bit slower than that. I mean, it's still going thousands of kilometers per hour, but
is entry burn. Watch
still
that on your left-hand screen.
Slower than the
Ignite 3
second
of the
stage.
Merlin 1D engines, while second stage continues to burn towards that elliptical orbit with the GPS vehicle on board.
So that rocket has to hit a tiny boat. It has to land on a boat in the middle of the ocean, and that's how precise everything is. So there's the entry burn. It uses this to slow down so it doesn't burst into flames and explode when it's entering the atmosphere here.
We're expecting this burn to last just about 30 seconds.
Now, a lot of time this entry, when it's entering, it'll lose camera, so it'll probably go out here in a moment or so. And then sometimes the landing burn, it shakes the camera really hard and then it stops working, but sometimes it stays live. We'll see how far we get.
Stage 1, entry burn, shutdown.
You see some bursts there Successful shutdown of the engine and some attitude control bursts just to get that orientation right. Now, once we get into
usually
the
right about
the
now is where that
those
camera
grid fins have some aerodynamic
goes down.
control authority. They will do most of the guiding to take the first
on the
stage
left
towards
side
our
of the
drone
screen,
ship
of course.
named Just Read the Instructions, which is about 350 nautical
It's
miles.
entering
off
the
east
atmosphere
coast of
hard right
Florida.
now.
The
There it goes.
coming
There
up
goes the
at
camera.
About 50 seconds from now,
Yep.
we'll have two events happening about the same time. The first stage will ignite its
So
single,
this is the view from the boat,
Center Merlin 1D engine
and
for landing burn. About the same time,
like I said, usually the shaking of it landing is so hard that it'll also cause this camera to briefly go out, but it'll come back up. We'll see it there.
While those two things occur, about 25 seconds later, the first stage will hopefully touch down on our drone ship. In between there,
I've watched a few of these where they've missed and it hits the water nearby.
That on your left-hand
But
screen.
hopefully it lands.
Drone ship, AOS. Stage 1 landing burn is starting.
Landing burn's going.
Of that center Merlin engine on the first stage.
Here it goes. It's starting to get shook.
Successful confirmation of shutdown of the Merlin vacuum engine. The guidance engineer is evaluating the orbit of the second stage now.
Nominal parking orbit.
Nominal parking orbit.
Landing
That's
legs
exactly what we want to hear.
Holy
Landing
moly!
legs
Ah!
like right down the center.
What the heck?
And
Looks
stage
like
1
a
is
successful
landed.
landing.
Okay.
Operators move into
I see it
procedure
first
11.100
stage.
on
Excellent.
ECF9.
So that's, you know, we first flew Falcon 9 10 years ago, actually this
There we
month.
go.
Since then, it's completed 88 missions, and now the most flown operational rocket in the United States. This mission completed its first landing, and hopefully we'll have many more to come.
No, I think that
The
anybody that
vehicle
says
is
that
now we're actually
space
going to
or
enter into our
rockets are fake
first
is a
coast phase,
retard.
Now that we know
That's-
that the second stage
That's
is in a
ridiculous to
successful
even think
parking
that
orbit.
this is fake.
That coast phase will last about 54 minutes, and will end with our second stage relight at about T plus
Frankly,
1 hour
it's
and 3
insulting
minutes.
to think
We're gonna
that it's
come back
fake.
shortly before that
No,
cover
it's
the,
not fake.
the
This is
second
real.
engine start number 2. Now, as we had mentioned earlier, today's mission is dedicated by the Space Force to the memory of Colonel Thomas Falzerano, commander of the 21st Space Wing at Peterson Air Force Base in Colorado. As a leader of the Air Force's 5th largest wing, he commanded a workforce of approximately 4,300 space professionals worldwide. We'll now hear from General Raymond and a number of Colonel Falzerano's colleagues in the Air Force and Space Force about the impact he had on all those he worked with.
I can think of no better way to honor Colonel Tom Falzerano and his family than with today's launch of our third GPS-3 satellite from Cape Canaveral. As a former commander of the 45th Operations Group, Tom not only understood the critical importance of our launch capabilities here on the Eastern Range, but he dedicated his entire military career to ensure our nation's space capabilities like GPS continue to fuel our modern way of life and our modern way of war. Tom was an incredible officer, leader, father, and friend who made a difference. He was in his prime as he led the 21st Space Wing at Peterson Air Force Base at such a critical point in our nation's history. Before that, he served as my senior executive officer, who worked tirelessly behind the scenes and put in long hours as we established the United States Space Command, our nation's 11th Combatant Command, and the United States Space Force, our newest branch of the armed services.
Also signal Maryland's expected.
Tom made a difference in the lives of his teammates and those he led. He will always be remembered for caring for his people while taking care of the mission. Tom had that unique gift of connecting with everyone he came in contact with. He always had a smile and a word of encouragement, no matter how demanding the situation was. Tom made a difference in the lives of his family. No one loved family more than he did. And in fact, Tom made us all feel like we were part of his family. As we watch today's Falcon 9 soar high into space, let Tom's legacy be a reminder for all of us to make a difference every single
Jackson,
day.
you're ridiculous.
And how our greatest legacy is found in the relationships and the investments we make in the people around us. My sincere thanks to SpaceX, the 45th Space Wing, and the entire launch team for honoring Tom's legacy.
Nobody knew how much the United States and our international allies rely on space capabilities every minute of every day more than Colonel Tom Falzerano. Tom took his mission responsibilities very seriously but he was passionate about developing and taking care of the people under his command. Although we lost him well before his time, his outstanding legacy will live on through the air and space professionals he led and mentored during his 26-year career. For Tom's family, and in honor of his memory, on behalf of the 6,000 professionals of the Space and Missile Systems Center, we will continue to protect and defend the global commons of space and continue to mentor our people, which he so clearly cherished.
Today's launch is dedicated to a warrior, a husband, a father, a friend, an American hero, and a man whose example and leadership will continue to influence our Air and Space Force well into the future. We're dedicating today's launch to Colonel Thomas Falzerano, who was the commander of the U.S. Space Force's 21st Space Wing when he tragically passed away a few weeks ago. In a way, dedicating this GPS-3 launch to Tom is wholly appropriate. As this next-generation satellite provides navigational guidance to the nation and the world, so did Tom provide lasting guidance and inspiration to all those he led and served with. It has been our great privilege to have known and served with Tom Falzerano, and we are proud to dedicate this launch to him.
Colonel Falzerano was a strong, steady leader who was an instant friend to everyone he met. He built lasting connections everywhere he went, and he cared intensely about everyone. Here at the 21st Space Wing, we miss him every day, but we'll honor him and continue our mission. Strength and preparedness always.
Colonel Falzerano led us by example to give of ourselves completely and compassionately. He taught us what it is to be built to last, to ensure what we build today will outlive us and last for those who come after us. As we reach again to the stars, let us strive even higher to be built to last.
It's only fitting this launch today be dedicated to Colonel Tom Falzerano, a great American hero. On behalf of the 50th Space Wing and the men and women of Schriever Air Force Base, thank you for your service, thank you for your sacrifice, and most importantly, thank you for your partnership over the course of the last year.
Colonel Falzerano, teammate, leader, wingman, guide. Much like the GPS, you get people to where they ought to be. Proud to have served with you.
Colonel Tom Falzerano was a true friend of the 30th Space Wing and a personal friend of mine. I've known Tom for over 20 years when he and I were captains together at the 564th Missile Squadron in Great Falls, Montana. Tom is the kind of person who would do whatever he could to help another airman. He looked out for the folks that he led, and he looked out for his peers. And it was my privilege for the time that we were serving as wing commanders together to serve next to him. Chief?
Sir, I had the pleasure of working with Colonel Falzerano as a teammate in Air Force Space Command headquarters. Consummate professional, consummate leader. You're missed, sir.
We're gonna miss you, Tom.
It is so fitting that we as an Air and Space Force remember Colonel Tom Falzerano with this GPS launch. Tom spent a lot of time in Florida, and in particular, as the 45th Operations Group Commander, he sat on crew for many of our nation's most important launches. Tom was truly a people person who loved his airmen and enjoyed hearing their stories. He was caring and kind to everyone he met and always found time to brag about his family. To Stacy and the children, it is our honor to represent the 14,000 men and women of Team Buckley and honor Tom for his leadership and service to this nation. For many of us who personally knew him, we'll light a cigar in his honor after a successful launch. Here's a toast.
It's my pleasure, along with other leaders of the United States Space Force, to honor the life of Colonel Tom Falzerano during the SpaceX Falcon 9 launch of the next GPS satellite. Colonel Falzerano is a former commander of the 45th Operations Group, and his legacy is felt throughout the Eastern
in
Range.
Kerbal right now, I'm building another
Devastating in the 45th
attachment
Space Wing, once a
for
shark,
the
always a
space
shark.
station.
And the sharks of the wing are so sad to hear of the passing of Colonel Falzerano. We'd also like to pass on our condolences and tell Stacy and the children that our thoughts and prayers are with them. Falsey, I just want to say thank you for your many years of friendship to me personally, and to your many years of service to the United States and the United States Space Force. You left us too young. You are and will continue to be missed. Thank you.
All right, I think we will go ahead and end the stream of the launch there. We'll keep playing Kerbal for a minute. But that's pretty much all she spoke for the launch. Just trying to get that off. Yeah, no problem, man. All right. Yeah, this last part to the ISS, we might end the stream there for a little bit. I got some errands to run. Want to get this one piece up. This last piece up. Everybody who watched the launch, thanks for joining us. That was pretty awesome. I might try and do that more often if you guys like that. Because they usually do a couple launches each month. 2, 3, 4 launches a month, so I can try and do them. If you guys are interested in me doing that. All right. Kind of a wobbly rocket. Ride. Nice of you to join us after the rocket launch ends, Code Monkey. So your plants have started producing the capsaicin then? Tears everywhere. I love ghost peppers. I can eat them like crazy. Oh, okay. Alessandro barely made it in time, man. I had said like 3 or 4 times throughout the stream, I was like, gosh, I hope Alessandro makes it. That's nice. Yeah, the seeds don't necessarily produce the capsaicin. I mean, usually the seeds hold more capsaicin than the rest of the pepper, but you can have seeds without it being hot at all if the plant just isn't producing it. Because like I said, at my uncle's house the other day, I ate 2 Carolina Reapers, seeds and all, and nothing. That's because they were too young. The plant wasn't producing any cap yet. That's awesome, though. That was hot. Mine's got, my jalapeno plant has 4 jalapenos on it now. Nice. Well, ghost peppers aren't very large, so that makes sense. Oh, shit. Oh, somewhere. Yeah, nice. I can't believe it. We're having to slow down with RCS. We were going so much, way too fast still. $26. Can't take the heat. Quit eating the pepper. Man, this thing, we need to hurry up and get there. We're going to run out of power. That rocket launch was not, this one, not the real one. This Kerbal rocket launch was not the best scenario. Yeah, it is addictive. I was watching a documentary on the Carolina Reaper the other day. Found out that that guy that first isolated that strain to make that hybrid was like an ex-heroin addict or something. It was either like heroin or crack or something like that. And he used hot peppers to fight his addiction to drugs. Here comes your station, Alessandro. We're coming up on it. It's getting quite big these days. Shit. We lost connection. Hopefully we don't bump into it. Oh my God, it's going to be a close call. Oh my God, I can't believe we barely missed it. Oh good, we got connection back. We're having some kind of serious fucking issue here. All right, I got to go to Space Center and then we'll come back to it because it's having some kind of... Jesus Christ. Thanks for sharing code. Thank you. We're having some kind of issue with the connection. It wasn't acting right. It burns so good. Don't really understand what's happening. It says we have connection. There we go. Control from here. There we go. That's what I need. Jesus Christ. Don't need to hear about your burning asshole in live stream there, Code. Yeah, Alessandro, if you're still there, you missed it earlier. We did a GPS 3 mission, just like the real rocket launch. We put it on a Falcon 9, and I landed that Falcon 9 as well, and got the satellite up into orbit again. All right. I think tonight I'm going to play a little bit of 5M with some guys. They've been asking for me to join them, so. And now we have communications with this damn thing. Here we go. Here's Alessandro's space station. Keep adding to it. See how big it gets. All right, will do. All right, and on that note, guys, I think we're going to end the stream there for now. Thanks for joining us for the launch. Thanks for watching me play some Kerbal. And we'll see you guys next time, yeah?